As character actors move, few get the job done much better than Stanley Tucci. By The Devil Wears Prada to Road to Perdition to margin call to his scene-stealing smarmy TV host at the Hunger Games franchise, Tucci's scope is ample and his delivery is dead on the mark.
However, when it comes to writing and directing, Tucci is at 6s and 7s. With now 5 features under his belt, the only one where he got it right was Big Night from 1996, and a large portion of the credit for that film must be given to his co-writer Joseph Tropiano and co-director Campbell Scott. When he's working solo behind the camera, Tucci is painfully adrift.
Simultaneously Tucci's most ambitious and weakest effort to date, Final Portrait is brimming with potential. It's based on a true story involving not one but 2 radically different artsy types in Paris in the 1960s, and there's a prostitute showing up every now and then. That is a golden premise, and Tucci almost immediately lets it get away from him.
Geoffrey Rush stars as Alberto Giacometti, a Swiss-born French abstract painter and sculptor nearing the end of his career. He shares his studio with his less famous brother Diego, Tucci regular Tony Shalhoub, a bemused sort who understands Alberto inasmuch as fully understanding him is nearly impossible.
Alberto is the textbook tortured artist, but on crack who, if ever happy with his creations, rarely shows it. Perpetually unkempt, anxious and grumpy, he is thoroughly driven by his work but sets a quality bar he can never seem to reach. Even when off the clock, Alberto thinks about work and isn't very good company. For esteemed writer and future biographer James Lord, Armie Hammer, he gets Alberto's creative drive and frustrations and treats them as a matter of course. Lord's patience is challenged, and then not long after Alberto asks him to sit for a portrait. Initially flattered, Lord begins to feel like a mere prop but won't for the life of him voice any disdain or even offer up a whiff of attitude or negative body language. What was supposed to take an afternoon turns into days and eventually weeks, which wouldn't be so bad had Tucci not realized the film as a chamber piece version of Groundhog Day.
With black and white title cards, Tucci lets us know the tally of the passing days, which really isn't needed as we know every time Alberto blurts out the same French obscenity in disgust, signaling he's done for the day. After a dozen or so versions of the same thing, taking up an hour of the 90-minute running time, it becomes clear little will change. Pardon the obvious and painful pun, but watching this film is literally like watching paint dry.